Hey everybody, it's Mr. White here again, and I'm bringing you a second video here in our teacher resources playlist. Today I am bringing you some physics simulations. So this is a website that I have found called myphysicslab.com, and I will put this URL in the description so you'll be able to access this website. This is not my website. I'm not affiliated with this website in any way. I just found it, and I found some really good resources on here for physics, and I guess this guy right down here is the creator of the website, and you can read a little bit about him should you choose to go to this website. So this website has got some really cool resources that I think you can use in the classroom. I know I'll be using them in the few weeks to come, but there are a lot of physics resources. And what I like about these simulations, when we click on them, you'll see in just a minute that many of them have a lot of explanations for what's going on. It includes some of the math on what's going on, so you can use these not only in your science classes, but also in your math classes. And then they've just got questions that you can ask your students and the answers, and so there's a lot of good material on each of these simulations. So you can use these in science classes, your math classes, maybe STEM classes, but there's a lot of different areas where we could use these in math and science. So let's just hop into it. I want to show you just a few of these just real quick so you can get an idea of some of the things that they got here. Let's start with this pendulum with direction field. Let's see what this one is about here. All right, so it looks like we've got a pendulum here. Let me grab it and we'll drop it. And then we can see here on this graph how it is moving on the graph, and it seems to be going at, well, it is, as it's slowing down, it's moving closer and closer to the origin as it continues to decrease, as the speed continues to decrease. We've got the time graph here that shows what's happening on the time graph, and then we've got the multi-graph feature which shows the time graph, it shows our regular graph, and then we can see the pendulum right down here. Now, below these graphs, what we can find is the extra information. Now, this one doesn't have too much information available. It's got a little bit of information about the source code and things like that. So if you want to use something like this in computer class, if you're teaching coding, things like that, you may want to utilize these simulations in that class. It could be good for your students to see. And then there's a few experiments here to try. Let's go on over to another one and see if I can show you some of the extra stuff. Let's do this regular pendulum here. Here on this pendulum, we can see we can manipulate the pendulum again. We've got plenty of controls that we can mess with to try and simulate different things and see how different things behave. And so this one, really cool, got some cool stuff going on there. We can see the graph of this pendulum, how it's moving, and that one's really cool. I think that looks really cool. We can see the time graph here. Ooh, all of this is really good. This has got some cool stuff going on here. And then on our multi-graph again, we can see both the graphs and the pendulum. And then if we go down, we can see we've got information about this simulation again here. We've got some questions to ask our students. And then it goes into the explanation of how it's working, what they have to find, and things like that. Some of the math that is involved, and a lot of different information about the simulation that you'll be able to use in teaching your students about this kind of stuff. So lots of different stuff that's going on here, lots of different information that's available, or lots of information that's available for this simulation. Look at that, that's so cool. Okay, and then let's see what this one is, Rigidbody Collisions. So we've got 3 objects here, 3 solid objects, and then I guess we just move them around and see how they behave. We've got lots of controls on this one as well, so we're already, it looks like, showing the forces. We can show energy. Right up here we've got the energy here. Pan zoom, I'm not sure what that one does. Maybe zooms in and out. Yeah, I guess so. But we've got a lot of different things going on there that we can manipulate. Looks like there's some different controls, so we can see that, information about it. Energy bar graph, so that tells about the energy graph. We've got different information about this simulation available here. Physics of collisions for rigid bodies in 2 dimensions. So I guess that explains some of the physics behind what's going on here. So you'll be able to use that as kind of a basis for explaining what's going on there if you're not a physics major. I know oftentimes as teachers we're kind of thrown into roles that we're not majors in, and so it helps having a little bit of information, extra information available to help us explain that to our students. And it looks like we've got some more information about what is going on here, some more of the math that's behind it. So lots of cool information available about each of these simulations. Let me just show you a couple more real quick. We've got billiards, much similar to our last simulation. We've got billiards balls that we are manipulating around our surface. So a lot of cool things there. Quickly, I'll show you another one here. Molecule. This one looks kind of cool here. We've got a molecule that we can mess around with, that we can change its motion and things like that. Lots of different controls here as well. Not a lot of information available on this one, but that's okay. Okay, well, I'll stop it there. There's lots of other ones that you can play with, lots of other ones to get to know. Hopefully they'll be helpful in your classroom. But this was our second video in our teacher resources video section. I did find another website that's got a lot more science resources on it. Will be making a video about that one pretty soon, and I will be publishing it in the next couple of days. So this one was our first one on physics simulations. The next one will have some more physics simulations in it, but I believe that one's got some other areas of science in it as well, but I'll talk more about that video whenever I make it. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope this is helpful in your classroom. I hope you'll be able to use it, and I'll see you next time.